Dude, and welcome back to the Dudes of Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we've got another great episode for you today. I don't know why my thing says Peyton Christensen, but you know what that is? It's my government name, I guess, so that is what it is. But we got the two dudes with us. We've always got the main man from way out west, always shouting out every single week, and K Stel making his appearance back. Fellas, how's the week going? Let's start off with the OG main man from way out west.
Hi guys, lost again, but the Jets are on a 2-week not losing streak. The Dodgers won. Maybe we'll talk about that. Right now, our script says MLB, and that's it. So we'll have to sneak some stuff in there while we're chatting. But all good in the hood. Like I said last week, it's still raining. I actually had a nice day. Kind of yesterday, it was raining all night, but kind of in the daytime, it got nice. And coach in the afternoon, that's kind of fun. Afternoon games feel a lot less serious, but he's still playing football. Great show to get into, and go Jets, go Mets.
Oh, and always K-Stel here with his presence, sir. K-Stel, how has your week been? I heard you had some stuff going on.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, in fact, a ton. Biggest thing for sure is shout out to my little sister for buying me the.
No, my little sister.
Yeah, my little sister. That's what I said.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, my little sister, not anyone else's little sister.
Yeah.
For give me the Peyton Manning's Colts jersey. I've been wanting forever.
7-2 this week. Oh no.
I've
back.
I need it. I've been wanting it for a while, and
this is true.
The script is out. No pun intended, but I've been a Colts fan for a while. I've always been a Colts fan. Jim Irsay. I've never really liked Orcas.
Indianapolis teams in general.
I've never liked Orcas in general. I think Orcas deserve the least amount of Orcas. Jim Irsay took care of that Orca himself.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else. Other than that, that's the reason I got that Colts jersey, was because they're a team that actually knows, how to win games other than
What about the Pacers? You're a big Pacers guy?
I'm a huge Pacers guy. I'm actually the biggest Indianapolis Colts Pacers. That's
Fever.
That's it. No, well, I guess a fever. Yeah, I just like the really cool whites. The cool whites are what the white person flag is what we like to say back in the college days. And you can put our boy. Well, I'd put Peyton Manning up, and then
Is he the best white boy?
That's a great question. Then him or Larry Bird. But Larry Bird didn't win over a lot of rings.
Pistol Pete, dude.
No, dude.
Hey, Jason, are we trying to say white boys who were?
Well, you got.
It's gonna be Alec Pierce.
I guess he's not.
Mac McClung, and then
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper. No, Cooper.
Cooper DeJean's getting up there.
Cooper's not in Indianapolis though.
Oh, so this is
It's
only Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
Alec
Pierce,
regional white
Mac
boys.
McClung, and then Sophie Cunningham.
He went to Iowa.
He did. Yeah. Is that close enough? Does that work?
I think so.
That
Yeah,
might
it's
work.
close enough.
We'll put him under the button. Sophie Cunningham, Mac McClung, Alec Pierce. Just solid glue.
Caitlin Clark.
No. We don't want the stars. Not the stars.
Oh.
Like Sophie Cunningham.
Then
Mac
what's
McClung.
Mac?
Not a star. We don't want the stars. That's why I said Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce.
Yeah. He had like 125 yards.
Yeah, but like people, who's going to draft him in the fantasy? Oh, I really want Alec Pierce on my team.
I think
this
he is
year.
picked up.
Well, of course he's picked up. Is he top 3 picked up? Like top 3
What the fuck?
In the top 3 draft?
No, you're not top
wire,
3 in this podcast right now.
Anyway, shout out Indianapolis.
Always. Yeah, Kyle's always on his rants. We always have to deal with that. Let's get a little bit into NFL football. Let me take a sip of my water.
Dun 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 dun.
We had NFL football happen this week. Obviously,
it's just short enough to not be copied.
Week 9 is officially in the books. Thursday night, Lamar came back and helped torch the Dolphins 28-6. The Ravens are 3-5. Pittsburgh got a big win. Maybe from way out west. Do the Ravens? Do you see legitimately making the playoffs even at 3-5?
Three
In
at
the
five,
AFC.
and the Bengals just lost 2, and the Browns stink, and the Steelers just beat the Colts, but that could be a fraud win. Yeah, they probably still.
It is a fraud win. I believe it.
Yeah,
Indianapolis
technically
is
one
actually-
game back.
Indianapolis
Or
is the
two
great
games. They're
dude.
2 games back.
If you
I thought
think
you were an indie guy.
if you think Indy isn't winning the Super Bowl this year, you can just leave the chat. Like it's just the truth of the matter is, like Indianapolis, like these people just don't understand that this is a team full of vigor and fight, and you just don't understand what these guys have at the top of their game.
We'll get to the Colts here in a little bit. We always know that K-Stelt's very excited to talk about his Colts. As always, the Ravens get a nice win. They're now 3-5. We did mention that Pittsburgh did beat the Colts today, which don't know if that's a fluke, but they're still steadily ahead of them in the AFC North. But who knows? With Lamar back, that team is obviously a totally different story. The morning games I'll go over quickly, and then the boys can kind of talk about which teams they want to. The Bears beat the Bengals in wild fashion, 47-42. Shout out Caleb Williams to being on somebody's fantasy football team, 36 points, really nice. There's another person.
He caught a touchdown.
I know. They did an whole special there out there in Chicago, so it worked out for him. The Bengals scored 15 points in a minute, which was pretty crazy, but then the Bears were able to lock that game up, win 47-42. The Vikings pulled out a stunner in Detroit, winning 27-24. JJ back. I mean, we're seeing how Sunday Night Football is going tonight.
JJ wasn't playing. It was Carson Wentz, and his stock went down. And then he plays and he beats the Lions. So, like, what the fuck now?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on over there in that.
No, I think we do know what's
North.
going on. I think he's a pretty decent quarterback. He's a young kid, and he's doing fine.
Yeah.
He literally was sitting on the sideline, and they were like, "Oh my God, Carson Wentz! Look at what he does." And then Carson started playing bad.
Yeah.
And then JJ comes in and beats the Lions, and it was like not.
He does it in the most nonchalant way. Like you watch him and you go, "How's this guy? Is this guy a good player?" And then all of a sudden you see the scoreboard and go, "Wait. What's going on?" And then you look at the turnovers and go, "Wait a second. Like there's no turnovers for the Vikings. Like they don't have they have what maybe one or something like that, but not enough to go, "Oh yeah, like there's no way JJ carried them." You just sit there and go, JJ just kind of like auraed his team.
He threw an interception.
Yeah, one. Was there any other fumble or anything like that?
He fumbled it but recovered it.
No, like against the Lions. Like how many Lions turnovers?
The Lions had Lions turnovers?
Yeah.
Lions had one fumble lost. No interception.
Is that enough to deem JJ like, oh well, he's not like that?
Well, he didn't make the defense played okay, but they just outplayed the Lions at home. That's pretty, And the NFC North is kind of crazy anyway, so just interesting there to see the Lions, or not the Lions, the Vikings kind of coming back in this NFC North. We did a good point there by P4 saying that without JJ McCarthy, his stock was going down, but he just was hurt. Like, how can we do that to the kid? But he's proven it yet again that he's able to stick with the big dogs, and might be the best decision for Minnesota after the Sam Darnold. Keeping him, or you're going to stick with JJ. They decided to stick with JJ, and it seems to be working out pretty well when he's healthy. In the NFC North, a huge upset. The Panthers win 16-13.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying he's better than Darnold. I mean, Darnold's got tearing it up.
Darnold is cooking.
Darnold's playing out.
He's
out
cooking.
of his mind.
I have to rely on Marvin Harrison Jr. to win tomorrow because Darnold decided to just be a god. A god, I said, not God.
Yeah. The Panthers win 16-13. Rico had 2 touchdowns. That was a pretty good game. The Packers have 2 losses, and we're kind of discussing this a little bit. The only ones are to the Browns and to the Panthers. They only have a tie with the Cowboys, but the teams that they're supposed to beat, or that they're supposed to be close games, they seem to always beat. But these teams that have a really good rushing attack seem to give the Packers trouble. Are we nervous about the Packers right now, or you're just they're still 5-2-1. They still look like
Jordan Love is an idiot. He's an idiot. He is not a smart.
This is only because he's on your fantasy.
No,
team.
he
didn't look great today. But
of course he. Well, no, but listen, I watch him most of the time, and I realize that he has no idea how to call out any blitzers. He sits there and goes, "I wonder if that Mike is going to rush me." Let's just run, fly, okay? Everyone, we're not going to put any blocker on this guy. I'll outrun him. And you know what happens? He gets sacked. every single time. I don't know if that's like I don't know what we're doing there in Green Bay, but someone needs to tell this kid, hey, can you figure out how to call out a blitzer? A Mike Blitzer? Is it cover 0 or is it cover 2? Do you watch film? No, he doesn't. You know what he does? He plays video games all day long. That's what he does. So yeah, I'm going to call out Jordan Love because every time he faces these pass rushing teams that do a really good job of sending the mic in and going cover 0, they get destroyed. They get eaten up.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how they're playing specifically. I was trying to go look at what's the NFC South. I mean, they got the Tampa Bay Bucks at 6-2, but they're 5-4. They're making a little bit of a run there, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, Panthers are 16 or the 1-16-13, good win for them. The Packers still kind of in the top of the NFC North. The Chargers scraped out a win against the Titans, 27-20. I mean, I guess it wasn't really a scrape out, but they had a touchdown returned on, or was it a punt return? It was a punt return, and then a interception for a touchdown. But the Chargers still ended up winning 27-20. They're 6-3. They're still behind the Broncos in the AFC West, but now they firmly hold the second place over the Chiefs, who had a game that Kyle and I am sure are going to lose our minds over. But the Chargers, good win for them. We're going to have to wait and see on them. The heartbreak of Atlanta playing the Patriots, losing 24-23 because a guy missed an extra point. Unbelievable that you're an NFL kicker and you're missing extra points. That should be automatically finding somebody else. You could have Rodrigo Blankenship out there, and he would make extra points. Like, if you're missing extra points, especially that lost them the football game. Like, that lost them the football game. I know Drake May played well, but he did have some turnovers against the Falcons. Doesn't seem like Penix. I mean, Drake London had 3
Being
touchdowns
a kicker
today.
is so. I mean, yeah, it obviously right. That's your job is to make your kick, but that's a wide receiver's job. This guy's job, everyone's job. Your job's to complete passes. You throw an interception. Like they, right? If you do your job, no one should know your name. If someone knows your name, it means you did something wrong.
Yeah,
So that
and
guy,
it's just
John
like,
Parker Romo or whoever.
Yeah.
They just
It's
got
just-
rid of Young Hoke, or it
Yeah.
was Young Hoke
Yeah,
who they got rid of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Who knows?
Drake
But that's
London's
just,
pretty good.
Drake London is really good. He had 3 touchdowns. The Patriots still ended up squeezing out a win. They are 7-2 and leading the AFC East still, even though the Bills got the win. 49ers beat up on the Giants. The Giants just, they actually have a pretty good team. They just have everybody hurt. If they had been Neighbors and Scatterboo, I think this team could be really, really good under Dart. But they're just injured and beat up and just don't have enough. Christian McCaffrey had a really good game for the 49ers, but the Giants cannot get a win. They're 2-7. 49ers turned to 6-3. Them and the Rams right now are definitely competing for that NFC West top spot, along with Seattle, of course. But those 3 are the type of competition up there in the NFC West. The Steelers beat K-Stel's Colts 27-20. A-Rod looks okay. The Colts turn the ball over. That's how you beat the Colts, is you keep their offense off the football field. But that was the first time their offense seemed to really kind of crack under a defense, and the Steelers ended up getting the win there.
Daniel Jones threw 50 times.
Yeah, it's just got to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. But
Just ridiculous.
And then the Broncos squeaked out yet another win to go 7-2.
You're not Peyton Manning.
Broncos, I just continue to find a way to win in the fourth quarter. They scrape things out. That's what they do. But they're now 7-2, leading the AFC West. The Texans fall 3-5. CJ looked like he took a pretty big shot there. So he might be out for a while. The Texans' dreams of making it to the playoffs, I think, are very slim to none at this point, especially if CJ's out. I know there's still a lot of game left, but if they lose another one going 3-6, that's going to be a really tough task to ask to make the playoffs there. So that's the morning slate. Where do you guys want to touch? What are your thoughts and opinions on that opening game slate?
Kind of not that exciting again this week.
Yeah, I guess the Panthers winning against the Packers, but that game wasn't really that fun to watch. The Patriots-Falcons game was pretty fun to watch. Drake London going off was interesting to see for sure. And then you had the Vikings-Lions game was fun to watch too. I mean, even though the Lions, the team I wanted them to win, but did not. But interesting stuff there for that morning slate, and then we'll go to this afternoon slate. We'll touch the Chiefs here after I go through these other two games that we're not going to talk about because they were both. Well, the Jaguars barely won 30-29. Brock Bowers had 43 fantasy points for K-Stelt's team, and K-Stelt still might lose, which is pretty great, honestly. The Raiders lose. They're now 2-6, bottom of the AFC West with Geno and Pete Carroll. That's kind of interesting to see them be that bad. Jaguars 5-3, scraping out a win. That just keeps them very competitive in that AFC South. So we'll have to see. But yeah, they won 30-29, hanging in overtime. So good on the Jags. And then the Rams boat race the Saints. The Saints are down there in one of the worst teams in football, along with some other teams, the Jets and the Dolphins. But they're no good either.
Hey, it goes Saints, Titans, Jets, top 3.
Yeah.
In the draft.
So we'll see if there's. I don't think the Saints will probably pick a quarterback. I think they'll throw Rattler out there one more year to see and wait for Arch Manning. But who knows about that? But they lost 34-10 to the Rams, and then the game of the week, the Bills outlast the Chiefs 28-21. Pretty big interception. I know it was on a 3rd and 10. Was honestly the Bills just outplayed the Chiefs. They just outplayed them. That's just how it happened this week. It seems like this happens in the regular season a lot. Am I concerned for the Chiefs? No. I think they showed that they can beat these teams. I think they just fell short today. I'd rather fall short in Week 9 than in the AFC, divisional game or even the championship game because the Bills are going to be up there competing. You want to make the playoffs and have a secure time, but you got a bye coming up here next. And then you got the Colts, which is going to be a real tough test. And then you've got the Broncos at Mile High. Now. So now we have to go out here and win these next 2 games if they really want to. Because dropping to, they can't drop. I don't think they can drop one of those games. You're going 5-5, 6-5. I mean, you're asking a lot to make the playoffs at that point. The schedule does kind of lighten up after that. They do have to play the Chargers, but that's at Arrowhead. They play. I don't think they play anybody that. Yeah, they play. Yeah, the next one is actually they don't have a bye. I don't know why I thought they have a bye. But they don't. Yes, they do have a bye. It's then the Broncos, then the Colts, and then it's the Cowboys, Texans, and the Chargers. But it's at Arrowhead, at the Titans, Broncos, Raiders to finish the season. So this is our last stretch. If we could lose one game out of that next streak, we'd be just fine. I see us doing something like that, especially in that later half of that schedule. I think we beat up on some of those teams. But K-Stel, I'll let you talk. What are your thoughts on the 5-4 Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, before I talk about them, I just want to talk about how fraudulent the Broncos are. They are this year's last year Kansas City Chiefs. That's what they are. Let me just go through the teams that the Broncos have played this season. Tennessee beat them. What's Tennessee? A bunch of garbage. They lost to the Colts, the greatest team to ever exist. They lost to the Chargers, a fantastic team. They beat the Bengals. Woo! They beat the Eagles, who were on the worst 2-week stretch they've ever had in past 5 years. Which, I mean, you could say, oh, the Eagles are a good team and whatever, they beat a good team, sure. But we all know what the Eagles were doing during that stretch. It was awful. They beat the Jets, no offense, 13-11. And the Jets are, they're not a great football team, but they beat a not fantastic football team in the Jets 13-11. So just that lets you know what they are. They beat a Giants team who is full of a bunch of idiots in a crazy game. They beat the Cowboys, and now they beat the Texans, who didn't have Stroud the entire game. And they're 7-2. So congratulations to the Broncos for having the most fraudulent season since the Chiefs of last season. I hope Jake Morgan's having a great time of experiencing that and how he'll win the AFC West, even though the Chiefs will probably beat them twice in the regular season. But it doesn't matter because the Chiefs are a bunch of assholes. They're a bunch of assholes. If you guys haven't noticed, the Bills have won the regular season games against the Chiefs 5 times to 0 in the past 5 seasons, of course. And the Chiefs have won 4 out of the last 0, which means all the Chiefs fans expect the Chiefs to win in the playoffs again. But that's not going to happen. And the reason that's not going to happen is that this is going to be a different time, you know. The times they are a-changing, as Bob Dylan says. Also, as Tony Romo says, this is not the year for the Chiefs. This is going to be the most disappointed the Chiefs are going to feel in a long time. Patrick Mahomes is playing this weird type of, I want to be an MVP kind of guy, but I don't.
Superhero.
Yeah, you know, he throws good, but then there's easy passes that he just can't complete, which is very funny. The defense just decides to not play well. You know what's funny about this Bills and Chiefs game is that the Chiefs are so much more talented on paper than the Bills were in this game. On paper. And all the Chiefs needed to do was not play like a bunch of assholes. But the Chiefs said, you know what, we're going to play like a bunch of assholes today. And that's exactly what they did. They played like a bunch of assholes, and you know what happened? They got spanked. I wouldn't say spanked like last season. But this Bills team is not. This Bills team is not as good as the last year's Bills team at all. If you watch the game, you could tell that this Bills team is nowhere close to what Josh Allen had last year. Not in the slightest, especially with injuries. And all the Chiefs needed to do was not be a bunch of assholes. And they walked out in Buffalo, in Highmark, and said, you know what, we feel like a bunch of assholes today. So that's what they did. They played like a bunch of assholes, and they lost the game. And that's why I think they're going to barely make the playoffs. And I think their next loss will probably be the Indianapolis Colts. Actually, I wouldn't say probably. It will be. The Colts are going to destroy them because the Colts have a better passing game than the Bills and a better running game than the Bills, in my fact. Even though the numbers say, James Cook is better. Who cares? Who cares? The Colts are going to destroy the Chiefs. It doesn't even matter. And I think we just have to start realizing, if you're a Kansas City fan, you have to start figuring out right now that the Chiefs are never going to be Kansas City's team again. They're not. They're just not. Tillery in on defense is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's every week, Kyle. It's every week,
it's
dude.
not every
you
week.
are so wishy-washy all the time,
I'm not
bro.
even here every
It's just
I'm not
exactly.
even here
That's the
every week.
issue. That's
the
the point. That's the point.
The problem is that our head coaches, our defensive coordinator, and the guy who's running our offense, they just don't know what they're doing. They try to do this old-fashioned, Steve Spagnuolo's sitting there and he's putting in Tillery every single time in the defensive line, and he can't make a tackle. He never can. He never will, and he never can. And every single time I watch Patrick Mahomes try to throw the ball down the field, up the field, all this different stuff, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no creativity in this team. There's not. You could say there's creativity just by the way the plays work, but at the end of the day,
scoring a touchdown's not creative.
But at the end of the day, if you took Andy Reid out of this offensive spot right now and you put in Matt Nagy, you would see the worst offensive team on the planet because Patrick Mahomes he's just too flustered. He's got to worry about this guy. Josh Simmons is out doing something we don't know in California. God bless him and his family. I understand it's a big problem, but has there been any other player in the history of the NFL that hasn't dealt with a problem that might be similar to Josh Simmons? Think of every worst possible scenario you could ever think of and imagine is there another player that probably went through that? Maybe. I'm not trying to say Josh Simmons is doing something wrong, but this has been the week 5 of him not being in here. And we have to watch Jalen Moore try to figure out something against Bosa. This is getting ridiculous.
You know, it's getting ridiculous.
They're not focused.
Honestly,
They're not focused. There's nothing is focused about them. Patrick has 3 children now. It's over. If you think the Chiefs are winning another Super Bowl, you better pray to the heavens above that every other team in the NFL is complete garbage. You have to. You have to pray for the Tom Brady treatment because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get overtaken by Bobby Witt Jr.'s Royals. We just saw it. Bobby Witt Jr. and Maikel Garcia are Gold Glove winners. Maikel Garcia had one of the best seasons we've ever had. The MLB postseason starts today, fellas. Adam Frazier is going to be on this team, And the Kansas City Royals are going to take over the Chiefs as Kansas City's teams. Whether the fans like it or not, it's happening. It's happening. You can say, oh, Kyle, you're just talking this. You're just saying that. The kid's 25. Everyone else is like 26 or 24. The pitchers are phenomenal. They just fired their 2 other hitting coaches that suck and nobody cares about. Bobby Witt Jr. is taking over the city of Kansas City, and it's going to be the most beautiful thing, and every single Chiefs fan is going to sit there and take it. They're going to take it like good little boys and girls.
Clip that. Please
They're
clip
going to
that.
take it.
Flip it.
And if you sit there and keep complaining about where the frickin' stadium is going to be built, then have a great time dealing with the Chiefs losing to the Bills when their team on paper is so much better. It's so much better. The Royals didn't make the playoffs this season. Well, welcome to baseball. Welcome to baseball where things are wish and wash and wish and wash. You know how much money the Mets spent on their baseball team this year? $1 billion. You know how much money the Mets are going to spend next year? $1 billion. Do you know what the Mets are probably going to do? Make the playoffs. They're going to figure it out. It's called baseball. So deal with the Royals. They're going to be the team of Kansas City. The Chiefs are over. It's tired. Pat maybe wins 1 or 2 more Super Bowls in Kansas City.
Maybe 1 or 2 more. It's over.
But
That's
the only reason I say maybe is because I'm giving it a 10-year time span. And maybe the NFL says, hey, you know what? We maybe need to give Patrick Mahomes another world championship because you know what? Because it's all rigged. It's all rigged. We see the NBA. It's completely rigged. It's going to be the biggest Rico hit in the planet. And the NFL's next. The MLB is just going to sneak their way underneath it because nobody really cares about the MLB that much. It's just baseball and it's just a bunch of math and that's all people care about. It's happening. It's happening. Congratulations, Bobby Witt Jr. You are Kansas City's player. Patrick Mahomes is maybe going to make the playoffs. I guarantee I'll put $100 on it, fake $100, that the Chiefs won't make the playoffs.
Fake $100 on it. Fake $100. Okay, well, this is where we cut off K-Stel. This is why we don't invite him back each week. He says he doesn't show up, but he's just not invited for goshly remarks like that. But it is what it is. He's a hurt fan. And then 2 weeks later when they go 2-0, he's going to be switching his story up. But how else can we expect out of the wishy-washy K-Stel here? But we have one game currently going on right now, and it is a beatdown, 38-7, the Seahawks.
Hey, we didn't talk about the flipping Jags Raiders or.
Yeah, I did. Talked about the Jags winning in overtime and the Raiders and Brock Bowers having 43 fantasy points, and then the Rams right before the Chiefs. Yeah, no, K-Stel's rant was so long that you totally forgot we even talked about it. I know. That's why you gotta try and push this guy along. My goodness.
I also want to say shout out Joe Flacco again. That was crazy what happened.
Yeah. Okay, we could talk a little bit about the professional, non-professional, I don't know what you want to call it, college football week. It was a pretty crazy week that happened here. K-Stel, Indiana, obviously, in all of the Indianapolis area. They're really good again with Ohio State. Both those teams are 1 and 2 in the nation. They're probably not going to lose the rest of the season. Indiana plays Penn State, not very good. Wisconsin, terrible. Purdue, one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Ohio State plays Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and then maybe Michigan, because you know how Michigan is with those 2 teams. But they get convincing wins as well. The big losses this week are the teams in the ACC. Georgia Tech loses their first game of the season to NC State, 48-36. They just get boat raced by a North Carolina State team that's just an okay team. Kind of an odd loss there for Georgia Tech. If they want to make this playoff, they need to not lose another game and make the ACC championship. But I have to look at these standings real quick. I think. Look. Standings. They are still in. They're going to play Virginia, it looks like, right now. But they play Boston College, Pitt, and then they play Georgia in the last game of the season, which is pretty crazy. So that's unbelievable luck for them. They're not probably going to make the playoff. They probably won't beat Georgia. And then they will make the ACC. The only way they make it is the ACC championship. But Virginia's got a pretty good team. The other team that lost in the ACC is Miami. They lost 26-20. They're completely out of the ACC championship look. Kind of how it was last year when they lost to P4's Syracuse team. But they lose to SMU in overtime. Miami was up at number 2, and now they've dropped all the way down into 16. I got the old rankings up here. 18. Not making the college football playoff. Pretty crazy to say that after 3 weeks ago they had them at number 2. But yeah, Miami falling from grace there a little bit. Oklahoma in the SEC boat races. Tennessee, Oklahoma looks like now that they're competing as well for a spot in that football playoff, being in right now as like a 6 or a 7 seed. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Georgia barely clinched it out against Florida. Had to get a last-second touch, not last second, but the last possession available touchdown to get a 24-20 and win that football game. And then the big stunner, Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia go down to Texas 34-31. Now they were down 17 in the third. They almost came back and won, but Arch Manning did just enough. Is there still hope? K-Stout, you're going to know probably more than P4, but is there still hope for Texas in this college football playoff? Here's who they play next, okay? So for the last 3 games of the season, they play at Georgia, Arkansas, and then Texas A&M. Okay, obviously, if they win those games, they only lost twice. They won't play in the SEC championship. Obviously, they don't make it if they lose one of those. If they go 3-0, do they have the resume to make the college football playoff?
I don't know. I really don't know. It really just depends on, in my opinion, like the college football it's run by the NIL program, the money coming in, the players getting the money. You know, and from what I understand, it's Austin. It might be a little more blue than we think. But Matthew McConaughey, Nicki Minaj, these people who you wouldn't think are in that, who you wouldn't think are in that red sector, they're big into that. Beyonce, they're huge. And guys, they're the person that they listen to and they understand is, you know, God bless her, is Erica Kirk. Her true self. This is where Texas is getting that money. It just is what it is. I understand she was an Arizona girl. She's probably a big Wildcats fan, maybe a Sun Devils fan. But at the end of the day, the Texas Longhorns, they have the marketing ability to produce that innuendo to go through.
Wow, what a big word.
Wow.
I mean, 3-0, that's big, but in reality, if you think it's a 3-0, let's just say Tennessee team, I don't know. But man, you get the people behind it that you really don't think are behind it, producing that, you know, I wouldn't say propaganda, but more so less, you know, incentive to get to the playoffs. That's where I think it comes in. They have to go 3-0, of course, but in my personal opinion, if there was another market without the people behind it, no way. But the people behind it, they go 3-0. Don't be shocked, fellas.
They'll be the 2 top 5 teams.
Erica Kirk has a very, very strong platform right now. In a lot of ways. God bless her late husband, the king. But this is just the truth. This is my insider sourcing. This is what I know.
America first, right?
You know what? Freedom is a great thing we have in this country. And we have to wear it proud on our chest every single day. And Texas represents that in every single way. So we just have to keep pushing to get this kid, Mr. Manning, the greatest family to ever exist on the planet, to get into the playoffs. That's just the truth. The Mannings going ahead is great for America. It is. Whether you like to see it or not, it is great for America.
Nice. Yeah, good words there by K-Stel. I was like lost for half of it, but you know what? That's how
I'm a little teary-eyed.
So, let's go run over to the Big 12 real quick. Utah beat Cincinnati. That was a big game, 45-14. Just absolutely whooped up on Cincinnati. Cincinnati was kind of my dark horse team, but they'd be okay with that. And then Texas Tech beat K-State 43-20. They look really, really good. Obviously, BYU is undefeated, but Texas Tech is still on the rise there. They will play BYU. That'll be really interesting to see. KU wins 38-21. They beat Oklahoma State. Ooh, great. Big contest coming up next 3 weeks for Kansas. They play at Arizona, decent football team. At Iowa State.
Who's going to be LSU's next head coach?
Oh wait, no, I saw this. I saw this on one of those Barstool guys sports.
Lane Kiffin?
What's the KI at Tulane? Not enough though. Not at LSU.
Yeah, well, the governor's only paying $2 per hour for the coach, so we'll see what happens.
James Franklin.
Oh my God, that would be so funny.
Dude, no, James Franklin will be Missouri's next head coach because I think what's his name? Missouri's current head coach, whatever his name is, going to Penn State. Bless you, bless you.
So they're just going to trade head coaches?
They're just going to
Basically.
trade. They're just going to trade him.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, we'll see about LSU. I don't know. I wish Howard was on and be able to tell us specifically. But yep, that's going to kind of wrap it up for our college football. Oh, we got Dark Horse real quick. Just a reminder what Dark Horse is. That's the team that myself personally think could make a real jump into the playoffs. We started at week 7 or week 6. Excuse me. We had Cincinnati. They're now at 7-2. Probably not going to make the playoff. Kind of a bummer there. Georgia Tech at 8-1. Week 8 was BYU. They're still 8-0. They had a bye this week, and then I had Vandy, but they obviously just lost to Texas. They're looking real dark right now to maybe make it in. My week 10 is Texas Tech Red Raiders. They have a really dominant team. They lost the week before, but the only reason they lost is they did not have their starting quarterback. They did not have their starting quarterback this week either, but they were still able to get the win in very convincing fashion against K-State. That fourth quarter was really good for Texas Tech. So I've got them as my week 10. Dark Horse. We will see what happens in week 11. One of the greatest seasons of all, the sports season officially starts on Monday, and it is college basketball. I have been running through my top 25 up until the season. I'm going to give you my first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth picks. I'll run quickly through. There was a change in the rankings as something was just released that Grant Foster for the Zags will be eligible to play. That gives the Zags a little bit of a jump from where they were. They're still just right below Kansas at 15. They are now at 16. But I've got Iowa at 25, North Carolina State at 24, North Carolina 23, Tennessee 22, Auburn 21, Wisconsin 19, Wisconsin 20, Alabama 19, Illinois 18, UCLA 17, Gonzaga at 16, Kansas at 15, Louisville at 14, Iowa State at 13, Arkansas at 12, Arizona 11, Kentucky 10, Texas Tech 9, Michigan 8, Duke Blue Devils at 7, and UConn still at number 6. My fifth-ranked team is going to go to the Rick Pitino and that St. John's team up there winning the Big East. They got everybody. They've got some really great players. Also, obviously, Rick Pitino as well. They need to see if everything fits like how it was last year. But they obviously have played very good throughout those differences. The NIL era, you're kind of thinking, like, I don't really know. Are they going to be that good? All that jazz. But they do have some great players. I got to remember who the guys that just picked up. Look this up real quick. St. John's. Transfers. I'm missing somebody that's horrible that I'm missing. Bryce Hopkins came in. He's going to be really good. Why can't I remember? Ian Jackson. That's who I'm thinking of. Ian Jackson transferred in from North Carolina. He's going to be terrific. That's why I have them up at 5. That's why they're in the current polls as well. But I have them above UConn. I think Ian Jackson is going to be a real star here, especially with guys like Dylan Mitchell from Cincinnati. Bryce Hopkins was a real stud. He kind of got injured last year, but when he was really good for Providence, he was really good there. So he transferred in as well. We'll see if they can funnel some of that old Bryce Hopkins in that competitive Big East with UConn. At number 4, and I think this may be higher than a lot of people have. I don't know. Let me look at current rankings right now has them at 8. I'm all the way to 4. It is the BYU Cougars. AJ Dybantsa is going to be a guy you're going to want to watch. There's 3 freshmen for this class that you are going to 100% want to watch. Both of them play. 2 of them play for Maya and K-Stel's team and Darren Peterson. And then the other guy is Cam Boozer over there at Duke. They're going to be really good. The third guy in this mix is AJ Dybantsa. He is one of the most athletic wingers you've seen. He's been kind of on that 1-2 part, switching with Darren Peterson on this NBA draft board. Cam Boozer is usually at that 3 spot, but who knows if Cam and Duke have a great season, he could move up to the number 1 spot just as easily. But he also has some great help around him. That's why I think BYU is going to be a real scare for Houston in winning the Big 12 this year. But they've got Rob White from Baylor, who was terrific last year with VJ Edgecombe. Didn't really work together, but I think him and AJ will be good. And then Richie Saunders was there last year for BYU's really good team. He's the point guard. He's going to be really good as well to watch. So I've got BYU fitting it all together. Obviously, their game revolves around AJ, but those 2 guys are definitely going to get involved. They've got 2 great shooters. They've got a wing guy to stretch the floor and to absolutely demolish everybody on the inside in AJ Dybantsa. At number 3, I've got your reigning defending national champions in the Florida Gators. They're going to be real interesting to watch this year. I think I have them winning the SEC this year. They've got Boogie Fland, the transfer from Arkansas on John Calipari's team. He was 13 points a game last year, and he looked like he was going to maybe go to the draft, but then he decided to go to the transfer portal. Florida picks him up. He's going to have Xavier Lee with him as well. Dude. Kyle. What is Jiminy Christmas? This guy, all the time, I'm trying to freaking talk about whatever's going on here. But you've got Boogie Fland there, and then Xavier Lee, the Princeton star. That'll be really, really good. Their backcourt or their frontcourt continues to come up and be really good. But Alex Condon will be really, really good. Florida should be really good in the SEC, so I got them at number 3. At number 2 is the number 1 team that dude, like I'm trying to do something right here. Can you turn the brain rot off? I have no idea what this guy is saying. The number 2 team is actually the number 1 team ranked in college basketball today, and that is Purdue Boilermakers. Braden Smith will be the number 2 guard in the nation behind Darren Peterson. That's just a bias. But Trey Coffin-Wren will be back for Purdue. Braden Smith, they've got some shooters. It's going to be really great, but Purdue's great. And then finally, my number 1 team overall is going to be Houston and the Houston Cougars. Kelvin Sampson's defensive tactics are always great, but they've got Chris Sadek Jr. He's drafted to be a projected lottery pick, which would be really, really good. Joseph Tugler, who could be the defensive player of the year in the Big 12 or even in the nation. He's really good. And they also have a bunch of terrific players who came back in Milos Uzan and Emmanuel Sharp should be back. Houston's going to be locked and loaded in the Big 12, and I have them winning the Big 12 and being your number 1 team in the nation. So my final picks before the season starts on Monday, I have Iowa 25, I have 24 NC State, 23 North Carolina, 22 Tennessee, 21 Auburn, 20 Wisconsin, Alabama at 19, 18 Illinois, 17 UCLA, 16 Gonzaga, 15 Kansas, 14 Louisville, 13 Iowa State, 12 Arkansas,
Kyle,
11
turn that
Arizona,
shit off.
10 Kentucky, 9 Texas Tech, 8 Michigan,
What the
7
fuck?
Duke, 6 UConn, 5 St. John's, 4 BYU, 3 Florida, 2 Purdue, and number 1 Houston. All right, so that is the top 25 picks for the draft. Thankfully, K-Stel's done doing whatever the hell he likes to do because he's doing whatever he wants for this podcast today.
That was
But,
very good.
was-
PC, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were a betting man, who would you bet to win this year's at this current moment? Is that the Houston Cougars?
I think right now it is the Houston Cougars. I think Kelvin Sampson is a terrific coach. Chris Sindak will be a really good player for Houston. They have a lot going on there that's going right. So I don't think he'll be the best freshman in the Big 12. Obviously, I think that's Darren Peterson. But I think Houston's overall will be really good. They've got great veterans back. They've got Kelvin Sampson there. It doesn't even matter. Joseph Tugler's back for them. I think there'll be a threat throughout the entire season. They'll probably lose a few games here or there, but there will be a force and just a defense that's unstoppable. I do have the Houston Cougars winning the national.
What team in your top 5 do you think has the biggest chance to be a fraud?
The biggest fraud team is probably Florida. I think Condon's really, really good, but who knows how great Xavier Lee's going to be from Princeton. Boogie Flant should be good, but he barely played for Arkansas. The SEC's pretty competitive. Alabama's good. Texas in the Big 12, but Kentucky's very, very good this year. They had a lot of transfers come in. Alabama is really good. Auburn was honestly picked to be really good. They lost their head coach, that's why I have them down there further, but they could be real tough tests. And Tennessee's going to be really good as well. So out of those 5 teams, it would probably be Florida that I could see drop the furthest out of those 5.
And biased KU fan, well, where do you see Kansas ending their year this year? Is it in the national title game? Are you looking for a Sweet 16? I mean, obviously you have them picked at 15.
Round of 64.
You want them to win a title.
Round of
but
64.
I don't have them at round of 64.
They're done. Darren Peterson. Listen, Darren Peterson. He's shown it already. He cramps.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm too sick. Oh, I cramp. Oh, I sick. Oh, I cramp. I'm sick. Oh, I scored 24 points and I'm sick. You know what? You know who doesn't?
In the first half.
You know who doesn't? You know who
Kyle.
doesn't do that? AJ Demons. Yeah, AJ. The guy.
AJ, what? How do you say his last name?
I don't know how to say it.
Oh, right. So we're
he
talking
can
about
move.
this guy. AJ DeBanza is his
Debanza?
name.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's spelled differently.
the
so I'm
band's
sorry.
on the run.
But the thing is that this whole idea that Darren
You know, Kyle, that was good.
Darren
That was good. The
Darren-
band is on a run.
Yeah, it is on because the thing is Darren Peterson. This guy's he's a big complainer. I cramp. I don't feel good. I don't feel good, but you know what I do? I go into work. I go work every day. I'm making what? Like not even like like 1/18 of your salary a day, and you're out here complaining about your feet cramping and you're not feeling well. You know who? Yeah, AJ DeBanza is not talking about that. He's out there working. And he's not just working because the Mormon church is telling him to work. He's doing it because he loves the game of basketball.
Do
So-
they wear their pajamas underneath their
So
uniform?
the thing
think that's actually-
no, not until they get married. But the thing is that Darren Peterson, yeah, sure.
You're telling me that he's not
can wear-
getting any tail.
he
and-
can wear. No soaking going on there. The thing is that Darren Peterson is gonna, he'll make a couple of threes, he'll do a couple of this or that, but you watch the Fort Hays State game, that's the team you're gonna see because Darren
What'll be
Peterson.
cool for Darren Peterson is when he's on the Big 12 Good Morning show.
Yeah, with 2 followers a day.
It's gonna happen.
Maybe just a little less than us, but at the end of the day, like AJ DeBanza, this guy clears every single day. And not only does he clear,
Didn't even
but
know how to say his last name 5 minutes ago.
I don't care what his last name is. Does he play ball? I don't care. His name is AJ and he plays ball. That's all that matters. And Cam Boozer out here, 33 points? How many minutes did he play?
2020 game.
How many minutes did he play? Did he play the same minutes that Darren Peterson did? I think he did. I think it was around the same minutes. So Cam Boozer and AJ, this isn't even a fair comparison. Darren, yeah, sure, he'll make a couple threes, he'll have a couple of steals, but the idea that that Darren Peterson's going to be the #1 overall pick, this Kobe Bryant esque type of a guy, it's ridiculous. I don't even understand the people. When AJ DeBanza plays Darren Peterson in that game, he is going to take every single cent of lunch money Darren Peterson has in his pocket. It's not even gonna. No, it's not even gonna be close. It's not even gonna be close. He lived in Utah. He grew up in Utah. This is the king. He loves those snow bunnies so much. It's not even gonna be close. It's not even gonna. Darren Peterson. Who is he playing for? Kansas girls. Oh wow! Congratulations, you're playing for a bunch of Kansas girls. Go
How
look
many
up
wives
that
are you
comedy
allowed to have
sketch.
as a member of the BYU?
So listen, I think KU is going to be a fine team. I don't think they're going to be a bad team. I think they're going to be better than last year's team, but they're going to probably be about around the middle of the pack. If they win in the round of 64, congratulations. But none of them really have the star power to get a hold of anybody. AJ, this BYU team, I tell you right now, if you see them in the Final Four and you go, man, I wonder why Kyle was so right about that, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's right, because he was right about AJ DeBanza. You're going to see AJ DeBanza playing Cam Boozer in the national championship game, and you're going to go, man, I wonder why Kyle was so right about that every single time.
No, I don't think those words will come out of my mouth ever, honestly.
It will. They will.
Personally.
You're going to see AJ, and
I
you're
can
going to
see
see
it happening.
Cam, and
I
you're going to
don't.
go, you know what? The guy who referees college basketball was right about everything because he watches college basketball all the time. So you're just going to go, oh, that's right, because he watches college basketball so much, and he knows the rules, he knows what's going to happen, he knows how it's going to be played out. It's just that simple. Like, AJ DeBanza is not even close. Like, and I want to root for Darren Peterson. I do. But the cramp thing, just get out of here. What even is that? Cramp?
All right, K-Stelz he's losing his speaking privileges currently because obviously he's just not thinking straight in the head. I'm a biased Kansas fan anyways. I mean, obviously you think that they can make the national championship. If you're looking at it from a realistic standpoint, I think that Darren does do well. I think the shooting shows up some, but it's not going to be enough. But I'm going to say it's not a loss of a season if you make the Elite Eight. I think they can make the Elite Eight. I think their team's good enough. I think Darren's good enough, whatever Kyle says. But I think Darren's good enough to lead that team to there. The role pieces are going to be great, but Dunga's going to make that huge leap. I could see them being that good and going all the way to the Natty. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm probably on the more side of not, obviously, because there's so many other good teams out there. But I think if you make the Elite Eight, you call it a good season. If you don't make the Sweet 16, you're really questioning things, like what's going on here at this campus right now. If you're not even going to make the Sweet 16, but there's that. There's the end of college basketball because I can't talk anymore to K-Stel about it at all. The regular season starts tomorrow. Make sure you get comfortable as 6 o'clock tomorrow. Arizona plays Florida. That'll be the beginning of college basketball, which is phenomenal that they started doing that, not just giving us dog crap games for the first 3 weeks of college basketball. But we had a little bit of MLB happen, I guess. A huge game, massive Game 7. Obviously, it did not go to the way that I think most of the dudes wanted. I think everybody was kind of hoping the Blue Jays would win. Yamamoto is just, what can you say more about him?
Who's that
Shut down in
kid?
Game 6.
Ernie Clement or whatever.
Yeah,
He
Clement
killed it.
Yeah, I mean the Rojas home run is just of course, like right there. You're like he's never hit the ball more than anything this month, and he hits a home run to tie the game. I mean, then you got all that. You got Will Smith being, of course, the name thing. Him being the winner in the game 7, where there's 5 years in a row now that a guy named Will Smith has won the World Series. That's kind of crazy, but yeah. Well, we're gonna look for the off season. I heard there's probably gonna be a lockout. I'm not the MLB guy. I'll let the MLB guys kind of take over this, but what you guys talking about? I know off season you're starting to look at a little bit, but what specifically are you guys looking forward to now since the MLB season is over? What should a non-fan be looking towards if they are kind of keeping up with off season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can kind of look at, I mean, obviously the teams that were in the playoffs were kind of at the top and all that kind of stuff. But really, not a lot's going to happen until December, maybe January, first of the year. There's going to be World Baseball Classic going on, so that might delay free agent talks, or it might move them up a little bit. We'll see. Edwin Diaz is going to be playing for Puerto Rico. No, the DR. He'll be playing for the DR. So who knows what he does? He's going to decline his options. The Mets have some big money free agents, but like I said, there's not going to be a whole lot going on. So there's really not much to talk about as far as baseball right now. The Dodgers are going to go to Cancun. The players are going to enjoy their things and all that stuff. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on with baseball. Excited for the next season. Noah McLean in the Mets, and let's do it. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think K Stelt's gonna get something prepped here, but
I could stretch mine out a little bit. I mean, what else we got going on? The Baltimore Orioles, we had a couple teams switch managers and stuff. Orioles just hired a new manager. Um, the Mets hitting coach situation so weird. They just hired a woman who was in someone's system to be a double A hitting coach, so that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of quiet now. I mean, it was just after the season, so there's not much to talk about.
for sure.
You're muted, bro. You're just talking to nobody.
Yeah, I'm always just talking to nobody because every time I'm talking to you, it's like it's talking to nobody. But what is your MLB offseason kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, first of all,
specifically?
congratulations to the Dodgers, America's team. America's only team. The only team in America that played in the World Series. At the end of the day, guys, we want our dynasties to continue to roll in all sports because it makes sports better at the end of the day. Whether you like it or not, it does. Also, they did it legally, so I don't know. Like, we hate the Dodgers because they spent $1 billion on a team, but you can do that nowadays. I won't go into depth for another team who did, I wouldn't say a similar thing, but probably the more right way, I guess. Because the Dodgers, they did do a little sneaky thing called deferred payments, which should be way, 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 way regulated, but it's whatever. Yeah, off-season wise, it's looking interesting, especially for the Royals. Bobby, I just said before, Bobby Witt Jr. will be the guy taking over Kansas City sports. But at the end of the day, like, they need to prove it. And I think in the best way possible. Michael Garcia, great player, just had a breakout season. Giving players contracts after breakout seasons, it's a scary thing. And I think it would be a good decision probably to let it ride out and see what he does in the first 3 months. Let's see what he can do. Can he figure it out? And I think he knows that as well. Because breakout seasons happen for everybody. I mean, we all see players who show up and go, oh, like, I can play good. And then all of a sudden they get a contract, and then this and that happens. Hunter Dozier, as an example. But we'll see. I think the guy who does need to get a contract is Vinny Pasquantino, for sure. But we'll see. Because he's a bit older, I think it works better for his case scenario than Michael Garcia's. But at the end of the day, I think the Royals just need to go get somebody. I think right now, if you're the Royals, I wouldn't be scared to go and ask Alex Bregman for a contract. I'm dead serious. And the reason why is I think, if you want it, and your pitch to him has to be, hey, listen, like, you'll be a second baseman, this and that. And I know the Royals got a lot of players on their team right now, but like India, like, we don't know what we're going to do with him. Are we going to trade him? Are we going to defer his contract for arbitration? We have no idea. This is where baseball gets really tricky. And it's very, very, very interesting to see how it happens. Especially for a team like the Royals who have a great player who absolutely can carry this team to the playoffs. But at the end of the day, like, you need your hitting to be better than what they are, and the first thing you need to do is get an outfield. And if you can't get an outfield to produce for you, then I don't know what you're going to do. And the money that outfielders are carrying nowadays is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So, for a couple of outfielders, you could go ahead and call Kyle Schwarber, but you're never going to get it. Also, he's not good enough to play in the outfield anyways. And, at the end of the day, like, if you want to try and go and get an outfielder that can play in Kauffman Stadium and can also hit similar to Teoscar Hernandez, good luck. It's just not going to happen. It will never happen until you get a new stadium. So at the end of the day, you have to make your infield a really good hitting squad, which it is at the most point. Like, you have good enough players. Carter Jensen as a catcher, we'll see what he can do. They're still going to trust Salvi and everything he does, and we'll see where that contract goes. I know there's like a mutual agreement or a team deal or something like that. We'll see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, like, when you're building this team, you have to have outfielders that can play baseball. And Jack Caglione this year, even though I was all about him, just he didn't show the improvements that were I would say, unrealistic at some points. Especially for me, they were unrealistic, and that's fair. But at the end of the day, this season, he has to show improvement. It has to be an improvement. Any way, any shape, any possible, figment of our imagination has to be shown by Jack Caglione at the plate in any sort of way. Because if he wants to be a part of any team in the major leagues, he has to show improvement at the plate, regardless of where he's playing. Other than that, Kyle Isbell's going to be in the outfield, so he's going to be what you want him to be. And your left field is going to be, pick somebody. Pick somebody, whoever you want to be. At the end of the day, the hitting coaches have got to figure out how to hit home runs. It just has to be better. And I know we hit a lot of home runs and this and that and scenarios like that. But, the Royals season last year, pitching-wise, got a lot of injuries, and it was tough. But we have to be able to figure out, what we're going to do on offense so that if our pitching does falter a little bit, how we're going to pick that up as a consistency through a regular season. Because it just didn't happen at all. When the pitching faltered, the team faltered in June. It just can't happen ever again. With your great players, and Bobby, and I say Bobby, Michael, and Vinny, those guys who are solids, you have to have guys who are just consistent. And not only can you have guys who are consistent like that, you have to have a bench who is very, very, very good at the same time. Adam Frazier has to be a guy you pick up in the free agency. It has to be that. You have to give him money because at the end of the day, when he's on the team, the Royals' offense is better. It's better. Either you have a guy on the farm system's not good enough to, counter that. So you have to be able to go and get somebody. And they've been trying to do that. And it's kind of worked, but not really. Because Garrett Hampson just has not been, he was never a guy in the first place. And then the guys that you picked up, Randall Grichuk, it's ridiculous. So we'll see where we are with this Royals team. We have to be better at hitting fastballs. Our fastball percentage, in play, with a batting percentage higher than 360 was awful. It was awful. It just can't happen. And we just never swung at pitches in the middle of the zone. But yet our chase percentage was high. And that just can't happen. We saw what happened to the Padres. It just didn't work. So if the Royals want to be a better team, they're going to have guys who are patient and can understand the game, but can also hit those pitches that are in the middle. We went after Jonathan India, who was a patient hitter, but when the ball was in the middle of the plate, yeah, he lifted the ball, but when he lifted the ball, when he was playing with the Reds, it went out of the ballpark because Great American Ballpark is the smallest ball field on the planet. So when he made connection with the ball, it just wasn't out. So, yeah, we could maybe have Jonathan India as a backup and whatever, and that will be probably fine. But his defense is awful, so as a utility player, what are you getting here? Is he just a DH forever?
Coming back?
We'll see. We'll see if Yastrzemski's coming back, but he's only a right fielder, and he only can hit right-handed pitchers. So you're just getting a bunch of guys who are one-note players, and one-note players just don't get you anywhere close to the World Series. And they're just going to have to make those adjustments at the end of the day.
Oh, okay. Just making sure that you were done with your whatever rant you continue to find yourself at. But yeah, that's good stuff there for MLB. I don't have anything, but just looking at Insight, Yeah, we'll have to wait till probably about January to see what really happens. I know some people are excited about the World Baseball Classic. I will be watching March Madness. That will not be on my TV screen once. But we had UFC this week. November 1st, we had
Really, World
Garcia.
Baseball Classic doesn't tickle you a little bit?
The championship might, but no, not during March Madness, during the NCAA tournament. It's gonna
Well, I
compete
get
with
that, yeah, but
It's gonna compete with that. It's at the same week, basically. Like, no, not really. I mean, unless there's like not any like I could see myself watching the semifinal and the final because at that point we'll be at the final Elite Eight and Final Four, and there may not be a game on. But if there is a basketball game on, I will more than likely be watching that one. We had a UFC. I heard that we had K Stout actually was going to lead us with this one this week. I know he's kind of P4 is our expert. We did want to give him a chance. He was kind of begging in the chat to be able to do that. So I wanted to make sure that he was ready to go. K Stout, you enjoyed this card?
Hey, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It was, not the greatest of all time, but it did enough for my understanding. Yeah, I guess we'll start off with Alan Carr versus Carnelosi, I guess is what you call her. I don't know the names well. That's why I'm not a teacher. 3 rounds. That's pretty tough for, someone who was, minus 225. 3 rounds. Congratulations to Ariana. Arain? Is that what her first name is?
Toledo won.
Well, no. Well, I know Toledo won, but to get to 3 rounds plus 185, we'll give her some flowers. She did get the submission. She did
Gotcha.
she got submissed, I guess, but she put up a fight.
Submitted.
Submitted or whatever. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it was
conjugated
first fight of the night. We got a little 1950s action here. Phil Rowe versus Ko. I'm not going to pronounce that first name. But
Sakyanko.
Got the better of Phil Rowe. Did go the distance, 3 rounds. It was a unanimous decision. It looks like Mr. Ko did get that one pretty handily. It was a tough fight. They tried to do their best going back and forth. But Margirl Alice from Romania did take care of Conheg Ruiz. She was a very, very she was heavily favored in this one. But in 3 rounds, so congratulations to the Mexican for putting up with that fight. It was a unanimous decision. Alice did get the best of that. I really don't know how old she is. P4, could you fact check how old Alice is? Don't want to judge
Alice
here.
is 33 to Ruiz is 32.
It's okay, 32. So, kind of, in the middle fight. Bunch of middle-aged moms fighting for rights. But Alice got the upper hand of that. Congratulations to the European. We'll go up to the 2 Brazilians. Dunmont and Vieira. Another middle-aged fight, I guess. Except for I do not know if Caitlin... Is that how her name is pronounced?
Yeah.
Ketlin, who was not favored, of course, who I hope is a woman. It was a split decision, so a tough fight at the end of the day for prelims, but at the end of the day did go the distance, so congratulations to Dumont for getting in there. The prettier one won. And then we're going to our male division now for the prelims.
Who's the prettier one in this fight?
2 Americans fighting here, Dante Johnson and Cedricus Dumas. This was a pretty heavily favored fight for Dante Johnson. Young kid looks like for Dumas, just getting his feet wet in the UFC, I believe.
He's had 20 UFC fights. He's been arrested multiple times.
Well, that's what they say about a lot of them. But at the end of the day, Dante Johnson did have his way. Timmy Kwamba getting the distance. This was a pretty tight fight. It was a unanimous decision at the end of the day. Cheng Ho Lee did not make it for the final decision, but did make the full 3 rounds, so that was good for him. But it did look like
This is a close fight. Vegas had it almost even.
It looked pretty close, but Timmy did come away at the bantamweight bout. Did look like the American won again, if you want to say that about the 1950s. We'll go up to Billy and Kevin. See what went on here. Just 1 round submission, pretty heavily favored for Billy Elcana versus Kevin Christian. A little light heavyweight. Does look like Kevin Christian has a little bit more little heavyweight to him. But Billy did get the
Okay. So Kevin Christian's a little more heavyweight. Like he's heavyweight leaning light heavyweight, and Billy's lightweight.
Just from the pictures
heavyweight.
we see here. But
all right.
It did look like Billy got the best of him here.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like to be around the end of the first round. Submission did happen. Billy did come away. If you're betting on Billy, congratulations. You did win that. And then we'll move to our main card here. We did have the Brazilian Alan Don't Know and versus Cody Durden. It did look like Alan got the best of Cody, who I don't know where Cody's from, but maybe Colorado? That's a really big nose on there. Submission 2 rounds. Cody tried to put up a fight.
Covington, Georgia.
Didn't really work. But, man, Alan, he put up a fight, and that's why he got performance of the night. Charles Radke, in 3 rounds, submitted Daniel Frunza from Romania. A couple of Romanians in here. Interesting. The odds were pretty tight here, but Charles did get the better of Daniel here, so it was a better fight for most of the round. A couple welterweight guys just kind of bouting it out there at the end of the day. And then our Cuban versus the United States. Yanier del Vela versus Isaac Valle versus, I'll just call him Isaac. This is a pretty easy win. If we want to be Vegas, it was not an easy win. Yanier completely destroyed the odds makers. Isaac getting submitted in the first round. Congratulations to all the faders on this one. Pretty exciting for you guys. The Cuban did pull ahead and got this in the first round. 220 is pretty exciting. Jeremiah Wells, the American versus the unknown Themba Gorimbo. We did not know where he came from. He just came from space. But Jeremiah got him in 3 rounds. He was not favored, but pretty close favorite.
Zimbabwe.
But at the welterweight bout, Jeremiah did get him in 3 rounds. A pretty tight fight, if you want to call it that. It was fire, but it wasn't better than this heavyweight bout from Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ante Dehilia. The Croatian. How many times have we seen a Croatian in this fight? Not many times, but the Dominican Republic.
Krokov is one of the best, ever.
But Waldo from the Dominican, who was not favored by a little bit, did beat him in a KO
Does he deserve the next heavyweight
TKO.
championship title fight?
Don't know. I don't know. Ranked number 6. We'll see against number 9. You could probably say it. We'll see how other heavyweights go in this new round. But it was a fantastic fight, and Waldo did put up his dominance against Ante, which he wasn't favored as the number 6. Very interesting. And to our final fight of the night, Steve Garcia, the United States American, versus David Onama from Uganda. Did beat out David in a KO or TKO, if you want to call it that. In 1 round, he was favored. He was favored 135 2 plus 114. Got him in 1 round. Pretty easy fight for a featherweight bout. I don't know if you guys like this fight as enough for it to be performance. What is your problem, dog? But other than that, I thought it was a great card. Everything else looked pretty fantastic. I'll probably have to go get a toy from my dog because she's missing it. So you guys can talk about this while I go get a toy.
Yeah, I don't think I caught too much of this. I was hoping Onama would win personally, but Waldo Cortez Acosta fight's really good. That question's pretty interesting. There from P4. I'm gonna stop screen sharing.
Yeah, I was busy coaching, so I wasn't able to catch this card.
You got,
But there was,
Aspinall. I mean, Volkov's up there, and he just won, so that's gonna be tough.
You want your baby?
So you can put Volkov.
There was like a weird thing with
Volkov.
eye pokes. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff that happened at this card. I
Volkov, maybe him and Cortez Acosta could fight to be the next fight. I think you got to go do Gon and Aspinall again, even after the eye poke. I think that's just bound to happen now. But I think you do Volkov versus Cortez Acosta, and then the next guy that gets the next title shot, unless like Gon wins. Maybe let Aspinall try and get it back, whatever. But I think that could set up like a number one contender fight with Alexander Volkov. That'd be pretty interesting to see. Maybe Pavlovich, but he already beat Cortez Acosta anyway, so yeah, it'll be really interesting to see for sure. Next week, I actually am pretty excited about next week. I like Randy Brown. I know it's another Apex, but I do like Randy Brown. He's fighting against Botham. That'll be a really good fight.
Matt Schnell.
Yeah.
Gabriel Bonfim and Ismail Bonfim are both on the card. Ricky Simone versus Rony Barcelos, Christian Leroy Duncan, Christian Quinones, Adrian Yanez. That's a cool bantamweight fight. Myra Bueno Silva, Pennington, Miles Johns, Daniel Marcos, Robert Valentin, Jackson McVeigh. Yeah. Jackson McVeigh is one of my kind of favorite prospects. He did lose his last fight against Bruno Ferreira due to armbar, but that is not really.
That'd be a pretty good,
Valentin's
honestly, a pretty
game,
decent.
So
I know it's an Apex card and whatever. I know, but I mean, Botham's reign to Randy Brown had a huge knockout. That'll be on Saturday at the Apex, so it'll be interesting for sure. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. We're kind of waiting maybe to see if Howard was gonna show up, but I haven't seen from him or heard from him. So we can kind of do these last little wrap ups, and if he somehow manages to make it in to this end of this, we'll make sure to do Smarter Down. We gotta start that season when we can. We'll do a last little whip around here to see what the guys are up to. All the rest of that jazz. K-Stout, what is your final words to the people?
Well, my final words are that everything I said was interesting and exciting. And I'm glad that I gave a great performance at the end of the day.
How much acting really was there?
Probably 50%.
That much acting? I don't know about that.
Probably 50%. We don't know. A lot of exciting times.
You're not good enough of an actor.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I might be in a different room the next time you guys see me.
Wow.
Might be a different setup. Not a bed.
We get the flag back?
No, you won't get the flag back.
That's so dumb. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, no flag. But probably a different setup. We'll see. A lot of exciting times happening in these very, very, very coming weeks of being an adult. So, congratulations to sports. Congratulations to the Gambling Association. They're making a ton of money. I'm glad that they're making money. You know, why don't refs get paid with gambling money? Why is that the thing? The NCAA, everyone else gets paid, but refs. Why don't the refs get paid with gambling money? I'm sure that won't be a fraudulent thing. You know, if we get some gambling money, we get sponsored by DraftKings. You think that will go over well?
I don't know necessarily, but maybe. You never know. Big Man for Way Out West, what's your kind of final words to the people?
Yeah, if learn something new every day, get out there, do what you got to do take care of what you need to take care of. Have fun. And goodbye, folks. Like, donate, subscribe, hit the follow button, share with your friends. This podcast is growing and growing every single day. Keep it rocking and rolling.
For sure. Well, we do stream every single Sunday night, 9:30 Central, 7:30 for you West Coasters. If you don't understand why K-Stout was kind of acting weird, you definitely need to go check out the last pod to kind of figure it out. But
Not the last pod,
Kinda
the
stall.
last pod I was on.
last pod he was on, yeah, 'cause he didn't show up 'cause he shows
Yeah,
up
so
about
just figure
once
that out.
You have to go
in
back
time.
about 3 months
Rewatch.
and-
Yeah, rewatch.
Just
every
rewatch the entire
single
series. You might as well catch up to figure out what's going on. So
Right.
Might as well.
I mean, you
as
might
well
have missed
take
some
time.
stuff that we've already talked about.
Right, we
You
might
could be a
like the
sports
experts.
genius if you
Yeah.
just rewatch
Just
this. show.
rewatched our stuff. Yeah, we're just.
Yeah, I mean,
sports.
the rewatchability of our show, and that's what most of our fans say,
Yeah.
is that it's very rewatchable. You
Right,
don't
and
have
you
to
can
watch
always,
it live.
You always can do it up in segments as well. Like,
Yeah.
I can only do like maybe this hour. I'm gonna just listen to the football stuff. Then come
Yeah,
back
and you
just-
guys who are making like shorts of our show and all that stuff on YouTube accounts that are not affiliated, let's cut that stuff out, right? We don't want to copyright anyone or anything, but
Yeah,
but at a certain point, we're gonna get so big that we can't hang out with all of our friends. So
Yeah,
right, we
exactly.
like having the chat kind of small so we can talk to everybody. But if it gets to the point where it's crazy, man, I mean, I don't know. It's getting to Kyle's head is really what the
Really,
crux of
honestly,
the issue is.
seriously.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's
It's just-
getting bigger houses and all
He's
this.
only
It's
showing
crazy.
up once a month, and
I know,
it's just-
and he still comes in. I know, and the pregame.
He acts like he runs the place, and it's his show.
So, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I want the show to grow, and we want to continue to do this for you guys. But I mean, it's going to K-Stel's head. The story of K-Stel. I wonder who's going to play him in the show. Maybe Chalamet.
That's a good option.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Dylan Efron,
Yeah.
there you go.
End of the
So
day.
like and subscribe. 9:30 Central, 7:30